What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we are checking out the changes to marksman rifles coming in the TU22 PTS that goes live tomorrow. Hopefully these videos will give you a little bit of a heads up on what it is you might want to jump in to and test. Now, marksman rifles are not quite as easy to compare as LMGs, SMGs and assault rifles, because obviously these things one-tap things, so there's a lot to take in to account here. So I'm gonna do like an overall kind of review and comparison of the numbers that I've got. I'll show you the charts in just a second, but I think one thing to take a look at here is the M700 has taken a slight nerf in damage, but it's still really high. And I think what it feels like they've tried to do with the Mmr'S especially is group and bring them together. Now that's not necessarily the case. I think there is still problems with them, which I'll show you in just a second. But I think if you're using a marksman rifle now, you're still going to be able to use that marksman rifle. The changes are not that significant. However, it does bring to life the SVD, and especially looking at the kind of gear that we're going to be getting and it becoming fully auto, I think it's actually going to make it a much more viable option. So let's take a look. Now, first of all, apologies if you're watching this on a phone or a small device. I've had to cram an extra table in this one because really I wanted to kind of show them filtered by the base damage also. Remember, like my previous videos, talents are not played into in this, and exotics are not played into this either, because it's not 100% clear where they are right now. This is just your normal high-end marksman rifles. So you can see the model 700 right up there at the top. M700 is still very good. They're all still really good. And what is really interesting is there's only like a 5.5% gap all the way down to the custom M44, and then it does start to drop off after that. The tactical 308 being left in a bit of an awkward place, to be honest. Not the greatest, but still pretty powerful. But the SVD and G28 and SOCOM, not really worth looking at them in that top table because they are not meant to be, you know, one-shot marksmen. So then if we look at sustain, which means if we are going to be reloading, let's have a look. The G28 surprisingly comes out on top after its significant buff in damage. So if we flip to it here, look at the G28, it's got a significant buff in damage. Although the rate of fire has been slowed down, it will be interesting to see if that plays out more like an M1A or not. So definitely would be interesting to have a look at that, because it's been around and nobody has ever used it. Same with the SSR here as well, coming out really well at the top. And you got to look at is these things have 40 round mags, which is pretty huge. We then got SVD, and SVD comes in really well at sustain and in burst if you look at it. Same with the SSR and the G28. Them three at the top both come in really nice, and obviously then you get it back into your higher powered marksmen, which if the higher powered marksman is deleting enemies in 1 or 2 hits, it might be hard to see if the G28, the SSR and the SVD do end up playing in, especially as we know how shaky the SVD can be. But it's getting its full auto mode, and we're getting a lot of gear that supports it. So I guess we'll see if it's actually worth playing out, or if we're just going to ignore these and play them as we do today, really. You know, they don't really get touched too much. Some do, some don't. The Nemesis is popular, obviously, and things like that. So it will definitely be interesting to see where these play out. But not a lot's changed, I don't think, in usability here. There's just been a few nerfs, a few buffs. If anything, it just feels like these have been brought a bit closer together. Nothing to write home about, but I thought I would do the video anyway. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. We've got shotguns and pistols to go. See you in the next one. Bye bye.